Chances are, if you're trying to build muscle, you're not doing too little training. You're just not training right. I train for 60 minutes per session with 2 hard working sets 4 times per week. And I'm building more muscle now than when I used to spend 10 plus hours per week in the gym. And here is what I had to work out the hard way. The more sets you do, the worse every single set gets. You end up rushing through them, the reps get sloppier, and no single set is taken seriously because you've got another 10 plus coming in that session. Not training hard by doing this, you're just training a lot. And the problem this creates is it waters down your ability to train to failure. Most guys have never trained to true failure in their life. As soon as they start to get that mild discomfort that kicks in, the second the muscle gets a little bit of burn, they call it a day, they call it a set there. Keep doing that and you'll waste years, like I did. But if you get it right, you'll build more muscle in 45 to 60 minutes of controlled, focused intent than you do in endless hours in the gym currently. And the moment that prompted me to actually make this video, I was in the gym the other day watching a lad do leg extensions. I'd watched him do 3 sets already by the time I asked him how many sets he had remaining, and he told me he had another 3 sets left on the exercise. So that is 6 working sets, or working sets of what he called them, on the leg extensions alone. And I'm watching him while I'm waiting for the machine. He's sitting there, chucking weight up, stopping the second he starts to pull a slight little grimace in his face. He's barely resting in between his sets again, and then he's going again. So good news for me waiting, he got through them pretty quickly. Bad news for him, none of them were effective for building his legs. I tell you now, let me take you through just 2 working sets on a leg extension and you will barely be able to walk by the time you've come off that machine. And it wasn't just that lad in the gym. I see this with pretty much every lad who is in the gym lifting. It's the thing that is holding the majority of guys back from building a physique. It isn't how many times they're in the gym and the frequency they're training. It is the work they're doing when they're in the gym that isn't counting anywhere near as much as they think it has. And it's literally because they're nowhere near genuine failure. As soon as they get that bit of discomfort, they rack the bar, they call it a day, they take a short rest period and they repeat the same thing again. But real failure isn't where you're starting to feel that burn. To be honest, the burn is just where that set is really beginning, and that is where you'll get into what I call the effective reps in a set. True mechanical failure is when your muscle is so fatigued it cannot produce enough force to move that weight again. It is completely failed. And doing that for just 2 sets will give you so much more than that guy alone got out of 6 sets on the leg extension, for example. I'll be completely straight with you. Everything I'm about to cover doesn't matter unless you stay for the last point, because all of that stuff hinges on the fact that you're implementing the last point I'm making this video, so stick around for that. So if 6 sets isn't doing anything to actually build your muscle, why is everybody still training like this? I'll tell you why, because training with high volume is hiding something you need to know. As human beings, if you know you've got 5 or 6 sets coming up on an exercise, you're gonna hold a couple back for the first couple of sets. So essentially they're just junk volume and they're fatiguing you quickly. Take an extreme example. If you had 1 set in the gym and then you had to go home, are you gonna leave anything in that set? Of course you aren't. You're gonna go absolutely fucking balls to the wall. You're gonna go until you feel like your eyes are gonna pop out your head. And that is the intensity that would build you muscle, okay? But of course that volume is too low. But it is like a scale, and the more you're doing, if you've got 30, 40 sets in a session, you're just gonna be ticking them off. It's gonna take you a fuckload of time, your concentration is gonna drop, and of course you're gonna hold some more until later on in the session. So that's why 2 sets is the sweet spot for me. I like to do a top set and a back off set. So you've got a slightly heavier set to start with, and then you've got a slightly lighter set to finish you off with. The benefit of doing that, you've got 2 separate rep ranges that you can use. So you're not even just trying to mimic what you've done on the last one. It feels like 1 set for each exercise across 2 different weight ranges. But I want you to think about the relationship between volume and quality, okay? The higher the volume, the lower the quality. The higher the quality, the lower the volume can be. And that is where 2 sets is the sweet spot. And when you start implementing this in your training, knowing you've just got 2 sets, your mindset is so much different going into each session. I'm not telling you all of this from theory, by the way. I spent years trying to chuck 4, 5, 6 sets per exercise at my physique, and it just didn't fucking respond. It wasn't until I actually scaled back my sessions and just focused on those 2 quality sets is when I really started to see progressions in both the logbook more so, and also then my physique. It actually started reflecting it. I was seeing progress that I hadn't seen in a couple of years, to be fair, after I'd hit a bit of a plateau and I was breaking through it. And it felt like every month to month, I was making more progress in my physique. Swapping to 2 sets forced me to have to push harder, because I couldn't rely on set 3, 4, and 5 to try and make it up and make it feel like I worked hard. Now, this is the approach I take with my clients alone. It makes me laugh when I get a new client come in and they send me back a message when I send them their plan saying that it looks a little bit low volume. But once I talk them through and show them how to execute at a high intensity, if anything, they're fucked after these sessions. And they used to be doing double the amount of sets. It's a win-win all round when you start training with just 2 sets. Your strength rises, your sessions drop, and your physique looks better for it. And although on paper, I'm telling you to do less, this is actually going to be doing much more for your physique. We're working smarter. We're not just trying to work harder, because you can chuck harder and harder and harder at it, but something's not changing. You've hit a plateau, you've clicked on this video for a reason. And here is my challenge to you this week. I've put in the description below my 2-set per exercise training split that you can go and implement in the gym this week. I want you to download that, give it a go in the gym this week. Every single set you need to take to absolute failure. Take that into the gym, take every set as hard as you can go. If you feel like re-racking it, ask yourself the question, if I had a gun to my head, could I get more? If the answer is yes, you carry on. But before we wrap this video up, going back to the catch I told you needed to make all of this tie in and work together. 2 sets per week doesn't work if you train like a bitch, okay? You must be taking every set within an inch of your life. This isn't down to the method not working, okay? This is the effort you're putting in from your side to train with the right intensity for 2 sets to be enough. Think back to the guy on the leg extensions, okay? If he was doing 2 sets of the current intensity he had, where he was leaving a fuckload of reps in reserve and stopping as soon as he felt a bit of discomfort in his quads, he's not gonna grow. High volume makes it feel comfortable without actually ever addressing the problem with your training. You cannot deal with the discomfort that training causes, okay? You have to be able to put this to one side. You have to be able to separate that, and you have to be able to push past that until the muscles have failed, not your mind. 2 sets removes that safety blanket. You have to expose yourself and how hard you actually physically train. And a lot of people don't like that. That is why they slag off low volume, because it gives them nowhere to hide. If you get comfortable with nowhere to hide and your ability to push yourself fucking hard is there, 2 sets will do a lot more for you than 4 to 5 sets of junk volume. So if you're trying to train to build muscle and it's just not happening, okay, it's never been down to the training you're doing and doing more of it. It's about if the work you're actually doing in the gym is sending the signal to grow, okay? That isn't about more all the time, that is about increasing the intensity of the work you're currently doing. Majority of people will benefit from reducing that volume down, treating each set with the absolute level of respect it deserves, okay? Every set like your life depends on it. You're not stopping when you get that first bit of discomfort. You're stopping when you cannot physically produce another rep again that is clean and safe to do so. Of course, you have to tap into some pretty dark places at times to be able to train in this manner, okay? But it will do so much more for your physique than just chucking stupid, wasteful junk sets at it and hoping that something's gonna change. Learn how to train hard, okay? The harder you train, the less volume you're gonna need. You're gonna spend less time in the gym and your physique is gonna benefit massively for it. Thank you for watching to the video. There is a coaching inquiry form in the link below if you'd like to work with me on a direct one-to-one basis. And remember, there is that free training plan below based on 2 sets per week. Give this video a like and make sure you drop this channel a subscribe. There's plenty more coaching content coming to the channel, guys. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.